Stop right here. Do not scroll past this. Do not let your eyes drift. And do not let your mind convince you that this is just another video in your feed. Because what you are feeling in this moment is not random. There is a quiet pull in your chest right now. Something that told you to pause. Something that made your breath slow for just a second when your eyes landed here. That was not coincidence. That was not your imagination. That was something deeper than logic. Something that has been watching over you long before you ever thought to ask why your life has felt the way it has. You have been carrying weight that no one around you has fully seen. You have been the person who keeps showing up for others while quietly wondering when someone will show up for you. You have laughed in rooms where your heart was heavy. You have answered the question, "Are you okay?" with a smile that cost you more than anyone realized? You have sat alone in the dark hours of the night, not because you wanted to, but because that was the only time you allowed yourself to feel the full weight of everything you had been holding together during the day. And in those moments, you wondered if anyone up above was paying attention. You wondered if your prayers were reaching anything at all, or if they were just dissolving into silence. But here is what heaven needs you to understand right now. You were seen in every single one of those moments. Every night you cried without making a sound. You were seen. Every morning you forced yourself to rise and face another day when your soul was begging for rest. You were seen. Every prayer you whispered under your breath. Every plea you sent out without knowing if it would land anywhere. Every moment of quiet desperation that you never showed another human being. All of it was witnessed. All of it was held. And none of it was wasted. If something in these words is resonating with you, if you feel like this message found you at exactly the right time, drop a comment below and just say, "I received this." You would be surprised how many others feel exactly what you are feeling right now. And there is something powerful about knowing you are not alone in it. Now let me tell you the thing that is going to change how you understand your entire story. You have spent years believing that what kept you going was your own toughness, your own willpower, your own stubborn refusal to fall apart. And while that determination is real and it is yours, the deeper truth is this. What you thought was your resilience was actually divine reinforcement working through you. What you thought was your instinct was actually spiritual discernment guiding your steps. What you thought was your strength in the hardest seasons was actually the hand of something greater, carrying you through terrain that your feet alone could not have crossed. You have no idea who you really are. And that is not a criticism. That is an invitation. Because the version of yourself you have been living as the tired one, the guarded one, the one who learned to need less, so disappointment would hurt less. That was never the fullness of you. That was the survival version. That was the armor. And armor is necessary when you are walking through fire. But armor was never meant to be your permanent identity. Your spirit has been active in ways your mind has not had language for. You have felt things that did not belong to your own life. You have woken up with a heaviness that had no clear source. You have sensed shifts in the energy of a room before anyone spoke a word. You have known things about people before they revealed themselves, picked up on dishonesty before there was any evidence of it, felt the grief of someone you love before they told you what was wrong. You used to wonder if something was wrong with you for being so sensitive to things that others seemed not to notice at all. But nothing was wrong with you. Everything was right with you. You were not broken, you were tuned. Your sensitivity was never a flaw. It was a feature. It was spiritual awareness that was designed into you before you took your first breath. And because of that awareness, you have spent your life doing something that most people will never even know is possible. You have been standing in the gap for people around you, absorbing spiritual pressure that would have crushed them, praying for things you did not fully understand, shielding lives you did not even know were being threatened. The enemy did not come after you because you were easy. The enemy came after you because you were dangerous to everything. Darkness was trying to build. Your prayers disrupt strongholds. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your spirit carries authority that hell has always taken seriously, even when you did not take yourself seriously at all. That is why your battles have felt heavier than they should. That is why you have faced opposition that seemed disproportionate to your circumstances. That is why the storms in your life have always felt more intense than everyone else's. You aren't being punished. You are being forged. Everything that tried to break you only succeeded in sharpening the edges of what heaven always knew was inside you. Think about what you have actually survived. The seasons you weren't sure you'd ever make it out of. The betrayals that should have closed your heart for good. The losses that should have destroyed your faith. The moments the ground vanished beneath your feet, leaving you with nothing to stand on. And yet, here you are. You aren't just surviving. You're still carrying enough love and hope to stop for a message like this. That's not just luck or a personality trait. It's evidence that something was holding you, even when you felt like you were falling alone. Take a moment. Think of one thing you overcame that you didn't think you could survive. If you feel comfortable, share it in the comments. Your story isn't just yours. Your survival is the proof someone else needs to know it's possible. You were never meant to fit in. Here is the truth that explains your confusion. You were never meant to fit the mold. You were designed differently on purpose. While most people only respond to what they can see or explain logically, you've always operated on a deeper frequency. For most of your life, this made you feel like something was off. You were too much for some and not enough for others. You existed slightly outside the lines of where everyone else felt comfortable. That wasn't dysfunction. It was the discomfort of a spirit built for a container much bigger than the one you were placed in. You were made for depth in a surface-level world, for truth in a culture of appearances, and for genuine connection in a world of performance. The return to your true self. What you've been searching for isn't outside of you. It's been there the whole time, buried under layers of survival strategies and other people's opinions. God isn't asking you to become someone new. He is calling you back to who you were before the world got its hands on you and told you who to be. He is pulling back the curtain on the original version of you. The you who carries wisdom you didn't learn in a classroom. The you who loves with a depth that scares people who aren't ready for it. The you who was placed here by divine appointment, with a purpose that no challenge can cancel. This is the moment everything changes. Once you understand who you truly are, you stop shrinking. You stop apologizing for how you sense things. You stop dimming your light just to make people comfortable in their blindness. Stop waiting for permission from the world to be who heaven has already declared you to be. If this message is hitting home right now, if you can feel something shifting, something that's been tight for a long time, finally starting to let go, I want you to like this video. Not as a transaction, but as an act of agreement with what is being spoken over your life. Let that small action be your first step in receiving what this season is trying to give you. Because a new season is genuinely here. This isn't just feel-good encouragement that fades in an hour. This is a real shift in the atmosphere of your life. The purpose of the pruning. The things that were draining you are being separated from you. It's not always gentle, but it is always purposeful. Relationships, environments, old thought patterns, and versions of yourself that no longer serve your calling are being pruned away. Pruning is never painless, but it is always intentional. What grows back after pruning is always stronger, deeper, and more fruitful than before. Have you noticed that certain things just don't interest you anymore? Do some conversations feel shallow in a way you can't explain? Do spaces that used to feel comfortable now feel too small? That's not you becoming arrogant. That's your spirit coming back into alignment. That is the real you resurfacing after years of being submerged under the weight of survival. The real you craves peace over noise, depth over spectacle, and truth over comfortable illusions. You are done performing for audiences that were never meant to judge your worth. It is not too late. There is a voice inside you, wondering if you waited too long, wondering if your window has passed, or if the years of struggle consumed too much of you to build anything meaningful. That voice is a lie. It's a sophisticated lie because it sounds like honesty or humility, but it's just fear in a suit. Those years you spent surviving weren't wasted. They were years of formation. You were building depth in the dark. Soon, the years that felt like loss will be reframed as preparation so precise you wouldn't trade a single chapter of it. A declaration over your life. Here is what is about to happen. Clarity is coming to areas where you've been confused for years. Doors are going to open that you didn't even knock on. Connections are coming that will feel like finally breathing after holding your breath for a lifetime. Dormant gifts, the ones you were told weren't practical, are awakening with undeniable purpose. The weight is lifting. The identity buried under hardship and other people's projections is stepping back into the light. People will notice it in your eyes and the way you carry yourself before you even say a word. Final prayer and activation. In the name of Jesus, I speak over your spirit right now. Every chain tied to the identity of your pain is breaking. Every generational cycle meant to stop with you is being cut. Every gift locked away by trauma or fear is being activated. You will not miss what God has prepared. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, anointed, and held by the same God who created the stars and knew your name before you were born. Walk differently from this day forward. Speak with authority. Love without fear. Carry your calling as a gift, not a burden. If your spirit said yes to this, subscribe and stay close. These words are not an accident, and neither are you. Welcome to the beginning of who you've always been.